HarperCollins presents Christmas at Cedarwood Lodge by Rebecca Raisin, read by Daniela Acitella. Chapter 1. Staring up at the imposing structure with its weathered facade, I had a terrible premonition that I'd made a mistake, a huge one. But I reasoned, clawing back rising panic, I had always wanted to buy the 100-year-old abandoned lodge. It had been up for sale recently, and I jumped at the chance. The old place had good, sturdy bones. It was solid, despite the desertion of its caretakers eons ago. Even though I'd always dreamed about owning Cedarwood Lodge, I hadn't expected for it to happen so soon. But it had, and I'd fallen madly in love with the place as it stood. Shutters broken, doors in need of paint, ivy creeping through broken panes of glass, and cascading roses growing wild and free around the porch balustrades. Here was a place untouched for decades, and I had a chance to bring it back to its former glory. The September sky shifted from foggy wisps of gray to country blue as dawn arrived in the small New Hampshire town of Evergreen. A sputtering car swung into the long, winding driveway, and I turned to watch my oldest friend, Micah, leap from his battered hatchback. We'd been best friends since childhood, and though we'd drifted apart as adults, he was the first person I called when I bought Cedarwood Lodge. I offered him the job of maintenance manager, which he'd accepted with a, "Hell yeah!" "You look exactly the same, Micah," I said, reaching up for a hug. "You haven't aged a bit." He'd filled out, no longer the lanky teenager I'd left behind. But aside from that, he was the same old Micah, with the same affable smile. "It's the daily hikes up the bluff. That thin mountain air does wonders for my skin." He waggled his eyebrows. "We've got a lot of catching up to do. I almost fell over when you called. Lucky for you, I was between jobs." Lucky for me, all right. I couldn't believe it had been so long. When was the last time we had properly caught up? 5 years ago? 6? Time had ticked by so fast while I'd been away. "You're different," he said, gesturing to my outfit and my usual flyaway curls restrained with a clip. "A little more polished." I grinned. Denim cutoffs and messy hair didn't quite cut it in Manhattan. "What? Crazy city folk?" He clucked his tongue. "Right?" I joked. "How's Veronica?" I expected him to gush about his long-term girlfriend. Instead, his lips turned down for the briefest second before he masked it with a smile. "Veronica, there's a blast from the past. I haven't seen her for 2 and a bit years now. She was like you, Clio, left town and didn't look back." Surprise knocked me sideways that she'd left town, left Micah. "Sorry, Micah, I thought—" "Way to go, Clio." He touched my shoulder, giving me time to wrench the metaphorical foot from my mouth. "It's okay." He let out a half-laugh. "One day she just decided this place was too small for her big dreams. This town isn't for everyone." An awkward silence hung between us. What kind of friend had I been to him? If I'd known, I would have come home for a visit to comfort him, make sure he was okay, like he would have done for me. Shame colored my cheeks, because I realized if he had called me, I probably would have played the too busy card. I knew Micah inside out, or at least I had at some point in my life, and I sensed he was downplaying the split. But I could see by the set of his jaw that the conversation was over. A part of me deflated. If they couldn't make it, what hope did any of us have? They'd been the perfect couple. I tried desperately to think of a subject that would get us back on an even keel. "Look at that view, Micah. Tell me I'm not imagining it."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?